Hey guys, welcome back. It's Pep. You're watching The Sentinel. We are up to the letter W in my A to Z series, and today I'm going to do a quick review of the Australian niche company Goldfield and Banks White Sandalwood. Okay, so White Sandalwood was released last year in 2016 along with 3 other fragrances from the Goldfield and Banks line, being Desert Rosewood, Pacific Rock Moss, Blue Cypress, and this one that I'm talking about today, White Sandalwood. I have a little sample atomizer here. I have worn White Sandalwood several times over the last several months since I discovered Goldfield and Banks. I can say straight off the top that all of these fragrances are just wonderful quality, made with quality ingredients, beautiful smelling, extrait de parfum concentration, and they just all of them have had really excellent performance on me. So I'll talk about performance straight off the bat. This one, along with the others in the line, have great longevity on my skin, easily well over 10 hours. In terms of projection, basically moderate projection for me, but what I love about their fragrances is that I can pretty much smell them all day, you know, coming off my chest if I've sprayed under a shirt or something like that. So luckily they all smell great, and it's a pleasure wearing them and smelling them. So we're talking about White Sandalwood today. I'll list the notes off this time as they're scrolling across the screen. Obviously we have Australian sandalwood, thyme, saffron, pepper, rose, and an amber accord. So let's talk about the opening of this fragrance, and I'll just spray some on this hand, and I've got the dry down happening on my other hand. So immediately I get a really, it's not when it's a spicy opening, but it's a soft spice. So really the saffron and thyme work well to, I guess, soften the pepper from being too sharp in the opening. The pepper is there, but it gives it a bit of light. And what I visualize whenever I wear this is golden light, just being outdoors and maybe on a dry riverbed, not many trees around, but just bathed in golden sunshine. And it's a golden scent. If I'm describing it in color, that's the visualization I get, and particularly in the opening. So it's pretty much all spice, and then you start to get, after a few minutes, the first inklings of a rose accord that leads into the heart. The thing is that the way this is being put together and blended, it almost gives, it does give the illusion that you have what seems to be a green, a rose with the leaves and the stem, and it's a young, just barely budding rose. But then after several minutes, and it starts to dry down and really go into the heart of the fragrance, the rose opens up, it starts to bloom, and you get a really nice, heavier, almost Turkish delight kind of rose accord. And I'm just smelling the dry down now, and it's really a contrast from the opening to the dry down, where the opening is all light and warmth, and then it just starts to get darker and more mature. And from that point on, you start to get the sandalwood and a little bit of I get a little bit of a vanilla-y amber that come into this in the end, and it's very creamy, milky, warm, milky rose petal bath that you end up with on your skin. And what happens with this fragrance on my skin is that it actually feels like it opens up on my skin, and the fragrance itself is blooming on my skin, and like it's swirling around on the surface of wherever I've sprayed it, and it's quite beautiful, that effect that I get on my skin. So if you're thinking that this is a dominant sandalwood fragrance, it's there, but all the parts, the spices play their part in the opening. The rose is really the star of the mid of this fragrance, and then the sandalwood kind of supports it. But it's really, for me, the spices and rose that make this a quite beautiful fragrance to wear, and the sandalwood is there as the base. What I will say about this is that it is a unisex, but some guys might find that this is a little bit feminine for their taste. I really enjoy wearing it. I've worn it mainly in colder weather, but this would be quite lovely, and I imagine a whole different character when the weather warms up. I wouldn't hesitate to try this in warmer weather, but I definitely recommend that you sample this and see how you like it. So, there are fragrances out there that are marketed as masculine, like Chanel Egoist, for example, where there is a lovely creamy sandalwood and rose combination there, and spices, but the way those spices interact with those ingredients in that fragrance make it quite masculine. And this one is softer, more billowy on the skin, but nonetheless quite beautiful. Excellent performance, great longevity, and I highly recommend trying it. It's such a lovely, comforting fragrance to wear, and a really sensual fragrance to wear. So they are my thoughts on Goldfield and Banks White Sandalwood. That's W for this series, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please get yourself some samples and check them out. I highly recommend all 4 fragrances from that house, and White Sandalwood has really grown on me over the last several months. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.